Good morning. Let's have a look at yesterday. Nothing really doing in the football at all. Couldn't see any trades. Spain and Italy derby style match. Wasn't interested in that. England did take the lead, but an excellent Danish goal. Get the equaliser, and I didn't or wasn't able to read Slovenia-Serbia. But looking at the odds, if the Slovenians scored first, that could have been a possible angle. And indeed, they did score first, 69th minute. Very, very late equaliser for Jovic. So possibilities with that equaliser, but I didn't really look at that. Tennis was very disappointing yesterday, but lessons to be learned. Don't back the Brits when they're playing in the Euros, it seems. Well, let's have a look. I wouldn't have played any of these yesterday. Jannik Sinner winning the first set. Hurkacz winning the first set. Struff, well, not really a shock to see him in Germany doing the job. 10 times out of 10, I would have backed Alcaraz at the odds he was over evens for the world number one, due deference to Jack Draper. But again, it's fine margins from these set points. Very fine margins. It's just really got the one break here. That's all he needed, Jack Draper. You saw the battle here for Alcaraz. This is what we were fighting with. It was break points. But then the Jack Draper served him well. And again, we were pressuring, or Alcaraz was pressurizing. Break point. So just fine margins. That single game, that single point could have turned things around for us. But as I say, 10 times out of 10, I'm back. Well, he's world number two now. I'm back in the world number two here when I see him at those kind of odds. Not to be yesterday. Harris and Mapeshi Perikar, again, we would have reached a slight profit. Two players, I must admit, in hindsight, I don't know that well. 67th and 162nd, I don't know them that well. And in hindsight, I really don't think I should have played. But I was trusting the market there. Second set. Again, just the one break. That's all that was required. Good. 3 match points. Very difficult to stave off those. And again, well, he saved a couple. Mapeshi Perikar, but not the third attempt. So a couple of losses there yesterday. Very disappointing. We tried to get something back. Goff made a profit on Goff yesterday, even before the set was concluded. So don't forget that kind of angle in the future. It looked as if Alexandrova had that first set in the bag. But the world number two, I had faith in the rankings. She came back. So job done there. Lots of lost service games. So delighted with that. As you can see, very close. So delighted with Goff. That's a world number two, playing like a world number two. I personally did play Ons Jabeur as well. In fact, I think there were 3 green screens yesterday, which did help take the pain of those losses. Buskova, even without winning the match, I had some lays of Schneider in there. Again, Buskova turning this around to get us a nice green. Goff, 27. And Ons Jabeur, 18. So in some small way, that compensated a little bit for those losses on the Brits. 2 Brits winning yesterday. Fair dues to them. Did lay Sabalenka at 1.04, I think it was, or 1.06, having won the first set, as she was entitled to, but a really good fight back from fellow countrywoman Kasatkina. Did see her odds rise slightly, but ever so slightly. That was just back onto parity, and then she lost serve late on. And that was the kick a knee knackers for us there. Looking onto today, and it was tough football yesterday. How about today? Slovakia against Ukraine, Poland, Austria. You can see the markets. No odds on favourites today. And another derby-style match at 8 o'clock, which is going to be very tough to unpack. Could be a one-goal-in-it match. Having a look at the research. Well, let's have a look at the betting angles. Slovakia to win, under 2.5 goals. Slovakia's last 3 matches have ended with clean sheets, so they could be set out to frustrate the Ukrainians. Ivan Skrantz to score any time. Poland, Austria. Karol, I don't know what that question mark is. Widerski has a knack for scoring first. 7 of his last 8 goals for Poland being the opening goal of the match. Adam Buksa scoring against the Netherlands could be key if Lewandowski is unable to start. I don't like the Poles. They just don't look up for it, do they? Possible winner, Austria 1-0. That sounds about right, given Poland are a little blunt in attack, particularly if Lewandowski's still on the bench. Under 2.5 goals, of course. First goal scorer, Miguel Grigorovic or Karol Widerski. So that does sound a little bit right to me. They have disappointed the Poles, haven't they? Netherlands and France, it's a derby-style match. It's a toughie. I can't call this one. Possible 2-1 scoreline to the Frogs. Both teams to score, of course. Goals in both halves. Well, with those forward lines, that wouldn't surprise. Goals in both halves. So how would I attack that? If I see 0-0 after 10 or 15 minutes, you could lay the draw in the half-time score market, or lay the draw in the half-time score market, or lay the 0-0 in the half-time score market, back over 0.5, back over 1.5 goals in the half-time score market, or use it as part of a bet builder with the bookies. So you could do a bet builder based around the likely goal scorers and start building that. A bet builder is quite simply an accumulator on a single match. You find them only with the bookies. Tennis-wise, well, disappointing from the Brits yesterday, so suggests I leave any Slovakian, Ukrainian, Polish, Austrian, Netherlands, France player alone. They start getting a second wind before their country's team plays in the Euros. Good stuff from the Brits, but losses. Hurkacz I like following when he's odds on as well. Zverev, another battling performance in front of home fans. Ditto for Struff, excellent performance yesterday against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Got a tough encounter against Jannik Sinner, but might be some value if Sinner wins the first set. We'll see how short his odds are. Zhang and Eubanks flirting with being a 3-setter this one. Eubanks very accomplished on grass. Looks like his best surface, but he's not favourite today. He was favourite the other day and really delivered. Thompson and Fritz, I'll keep an eye on Taylor Fritz. I do like Taylor Fritz. But as you can see with Alcaraz, all of these players are open to defeat. Far better to get defeated in a pre-Grand Slam tournament event rather than the Grand Slam itself. Korda did impress me yesterday. I think it took quite a big name, Gregor Dimitrov. So that did catch the eye. I'll be following him on that basis. I don't know much about that Harris, so I'm going to leave him alone, even though he won yesterday. Rybakina, is she top 10? Yeah, world number 4. So hopefully they are a step above the world top 5, step above everything else. Sabalenka and Kalinskaya, again, meeting a fellow player. And I'll do what I did yesterday with Ostapenko. Not Ostapenko, I think it was. Yeah. We'll look for Kalinskaya to be the potential spoiler here, particularly if Sabalenka wins the first set. You'll notice on Jabeur, not favourite today, against world number 2, Cory Gauff. Could be. She could take a set at Jabeur. I've been watching her. She has impressed. In Birmingham, don't know what to choose here, mate. Yeah, put in saver. What's she doing against Dalhide? 41st against 61st. Well, I was suffering a bit like that yesterday. Rankings too tight for me to have faith in put in saver, I think. So it looks a tough coupon at Birmingham. But there are some hopes in Halle and in London and in Berlin. So I'll be looking at the tennis. Even though it's my day off, I am playing some golf this morning, but it's tie time. That's why I couldn't do the Italy match yesterday. Well, I didn't miss anything there anyway. It was a very tough match to unpack. So I will be on hand. I'm probably going to be watching the Euros today, although it's not a very appealing coupon. So it might be a little quiet on the football front to take our medicine and try to reap some rewards, because we had a really good couple of days of green screens. I did get a few green screens yesterday, but those 2 losses, Alcaraz and Harris. Harris is the one that should have been avoided, as I was telling you about that rankings being tight. I think that was the case with Harris, and in hindsight, shouldn't really have played. One, unfamiliar players. Well, the ranking's not too tight. I don't know which match. Just made a loss on the Brits there, wasn't it, yesterday? So I hope to see you around, but do please remember I do have a day off. I will be working for you on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm not obliged to play today. But if I see something strong in the tennis particularly, I'll hope to pass it on. Let's get back to earning some green today. Have a great day. Don't forget e-letter today as well, so have a look out for that.